Hey guys, it's Jade, and I'm back with even more reviews of original songs that you guys have sent in. Super excited to have you guys send stuff from all over the world. I can't wait to check it out, and just if you have a chance, give all the bands a like, as well as check out all the other videos that we've done, as well as check out all of our other videos. And let's just dive right into it. Once again, these are just my thoughts. I'm not trying to rip anyone apart. I'm just trying to add some constructive criticism from the 1 minute of song that I listened to. I'm not judging any bands. I'm not really reading a lot of information. I'm just kind of doing it, and then I'll be putting the links down below. So just write my thoughts raw and ready to roll. So let's dive on in.
Once again, I felt your hate on my skin. Why can't I wipe the stain? I wish I can, I wish I can. You held me close and wouldn't let go. You said I'd change, how would you know?
So I thought this track was interesting, to say the least. Everything came in nicely. The tracks sound really thick. The guitars are kind of crunchy. The bass is nice and sitting very nicely in the mix. But very good rock, hard rock kind of mix. All except for the vocals. When they came in, they didn't have any punch to them. They didn't have anything that I wanted to listen to. It was kind of like, oh cool, our singer left, let's have someone who knows the song sing, but it wasn't really what I would think is a, not really a frontman singer. The vocals didn't have enough grit to them to make them gritty. They weren't they weren't singy, songy enough to be just clean vocals. They kind of sounded very young, which isn't a bad thing, but it just sounded very like unpolished, with a little bit of reverb thrown in kind of thing. I wish there was a lot more depth to it, even though if you're not a great singer, you can always get around with that by working a little more on your breath control, a little more on just making your presence big. The tone sounded fairly flat in the mix, and then it was just kind of shuffled in the back with reverb. It doesn't really help when the guitars are like 3 times as loud as your vocals. So when the vocals do come in, it just kind of sounds like they're an afterthought instead of like, oh snap, here's the vocals, here's the singer. So it's a mixing thing as well as just working on your vocals and making them more powerful and more so they sit over top, because I can easily see if you're doing a live thing, you'd have a hard time hearing your vocals distinguished because they're right in the frequency of the guitars and they'd get buried pretty fast. Try working on doing some higher notes and things like that, but then when you're doing it, work on your breath control and things like that so you're a little more powerful. Just my thoughts. Keep rocking.
My faith when I needed it the most. Oh, I believe in demons if you don't believe in ghosts. Now I jumped off the ledge, but I never let go. And now these angels don't sing no more. Now the future's not the same if you're living in the past. You can go at it alone and we'll see how long you last. You'll find that you struggle at the simplest of tasks. But I'm right right by your side, all you have to do is ask. So lay there blue.
So going with a super chill, laid back sound, this track kind of just one of those things you put on and you sit back and you kind of either you enjoy it or you have it on as a kind of track in the background. Really works well. The vocals are very unique, have a cool vibrato to them. You know, it kind of just sits in the chill zone kind of thing. The chorus, it got amped up a bit with some drums, you know, a little more present, and you know, just a heavier groove on it. It worked out really well. I kind of wanted a little more interesting vocal lines kind of thing. It just kind of, you know, sounded very singer-songwriter, which is cool, but I wish there was a little more. With that cool voice, I think it could have done a little more than just you know, just kind of sat in the easy comfort zone of those like few notes. And yeah, I don't know, it was a cool track. I really liked it. I loved the little organ sound that kind of came in, kind of creeps in. I love all the different layering of different things and just making it a whole sensation as you listen to it. It very sets a vibe. It's a cool track. Just wish it had a little more oomph to it, a little more something a little, you know, that brought it up, either that raised the excitement a little more, or that just you know, added a little, you know, little jazz, little you know, a little sizzle. But that's just my thoughts. Keep rocking, and I love the voice. I love the kind of chill atmosphere of it. I want to hear more.
I haven't seen you in town. Lord knows how long, but I still think of us every once in a while. I heard today you found someone who makes you happy, a good man, the true love you've been searching for. I cried today. Were the tears for you, tears for me, all for the years that lie between what we had and could have been? I cried today. I cried.
So this was a really cool track, just in a way. All of a sudden it like brought that energy, raised things, you know, was kind of catchy off the hook, you know, had a cool mix going on until the vocals came in, and then all of a sudden it sounded kind of like everything was going through a tin can. Just the vocals though, everything else sounded great, but the vocals sounded kind of like radio filter effect. It just was EQ'd really weird, and I was wondering if it was my speakers or if all of a sudden I had gone tone deaf or something like that. I had to like restart the song, and I was just like, what's going on? But I just realized just the vocals are mixed weird. It just sounds like kind of what the opposite of what you want to do is make it sit in the mix. It kind of sounds like he EQ'd it to kind of stand out, which is cool, and it gave it a kind of cool effect, but it definitely sounded like a backing track, karaoke track, and then a vocal, instead of like it all being one kind of song. It was cool. I love the hooks. I love the vocals. Just wish it was mixed better. Even the backing vocal sat better than the actual vocal itself, and it was just kind of jarring and weird. Just has to do a little different EQing, and I think it would have settled really nicely, and it would have been a super solid song. Still is a cool song, but kind of really weird mixing in my ears, and I'm like, oh cool, it kind of sounds like weird. I don't know, that's the only word I can put my finger on. But cool track, keep rocking. So this track started off real tight, just like really edited really nicely. Everything was super punchy, and brought in just a cool sound, and all of a sudden it just went to that thrash sound, which was really cool. Thrash vocal, nice and heavy and guttural, just really cool. Once the vocals came in, the guitars kind of got lost in just being just a lot of just heavy noise, which was a little unfortunate. A lot of heavier tracks have this way of just like riff and then 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 riff, and then, you know, it's like cool. Dynamics help things, but it worked out really cool. It was a cool track. It was mixed well. The vocals sat right in your face, and it sounded upfront. It sounded ballsy. I really enjoyed it. I just thought that, I don't know, once again, you listen to a minute and it's like, cool, that was basically the same thing for the whole minute. I hope it evolves or it goes someplace different in different parts, or maybe there's, you know, the rhythm switches up, or it becomes, you know, more dynamic or things like that. But from what I heard, it was just straightforward, simple, and kind of just, you know, sat on that riff for a while the vocals were just kind of crushing it over top. Really cool stuff. Just, you know, not much more that I can say that I haven't said already. So keep rocking. This track was kind of funky right off the bat, in a good way. You know, had some cool guitar lines, nice thick bass. The drums were nice and crunchy. I liked the hat being very present. Had a good groove to it, and then the vocals came in and they were really cool, very unique tone to it, kind of that very nasally kind of thing, and it was really cool. But they never went anywhere with it. When the chorus came in, I was expecting, you know, to wrap it up, or, you know, all of a sudden everything just kind of jams together. But it kind of just kept doing what it's doing with a little different vocal hook on it, and in the same realm and the same pitch kind of thing. And then, oh, there we go. Minute ends and it's already back to the verse, which is good structuring. I liked hearing the intro and then verse and then, you know, moving on. It made things work really well. But I wish the vocals, you know, went somewhere with it. I wish the whole track, when the chorus came, something was different, you know. All of a sudden everyone's just in the like big groove, or all of a sudden, you know, like the guitar gets bigger and the vocals go up the octave, or something that made it, you know, like, oh my goodness, that's a really cool chorus. Just kind of sat there with the rest of the track, and before I knew it, we were back in verse 2. So cool track. Maybe it gets bigger and crazier later on. Don't know. And but I love the sound of it, and really cool vocals. So go check it out. So that's the end of reviews. Once again, they're just my thoughts. I know in this episode I was a little more conscious on songwriting than just mixing. I was very conscious on vocals, just because the vocals really make the track, no matter what genre you're doing. Unless you have no vocals, the minute vocals are in your track, they're a really big key element, and you have to spend time and work on them, make sure they're as polished as they can be, So it's like, cool, you have a cool guitar solo, but people aren't going to hear that right off the bat unless it's right off the bat. People are going to hear the vocals first, and that's going to hook them to your song, or all of a sudden people might lose interest. That's a big deciding factor for a lot of people, more than, oh man, that's a dope snare sound. So just my thoughts. Keep rocking. Go check out all the bands down below, as well as check out all the other videos. I just did a video about file submissions, when you guys are sending in submissions to music festivals, to reviews like myself, to other media outlets. So go check out that video. And go support all the artists down below. They're awesome. And thank you for supporting the scene. Bye. Hey guys, it's Jade. Thanks for checking out the video. You can subscribe over here, as well as check out some more of our cool videos. And please, thanks for supporting us. That helps us support local and independent musicians all over the world. This is really cool, and I think you guys are awesome. See you guys later. Bye.